Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Sit down, please. I'd like to speak English today too, to improve my speaking skill. Let's get it started. Today, it is June 28th, 2023. It's on Wednesday and cloudy outside. According to the weather forecast, it will be rainy later. Is your area in the rainy season? Has your area already entered the rainy season? Or there is no rainy season in your area where you live? Has your area already entered the rainy season? Has your area already entered rainy season? Has your area where you live entered rainy season? Has your area entered rainy season? Entered rainy season? Has your area entered rainy season? Has your area already entered rainy season, or there is no rainy season in your region where you live? It takes much longer than average people for me to adapt to new environment. You will soon adapt to the usage of smartphone. You will soon adapt to the operation of the machine. Our body is designed to adapt to the new environment to some extent, to a certain extent, to some degrees. Our body is designed to adapt to the different environment to a certain extent. I tried to adapt to the environment of the department of in the company, but I couldn't, so I asked my boss to transfer me to another department in the same company. It usually takes a much longer time for me to adapt to the new environment. It took me about 1 year to adapt to the new environment in Tokyo. It took me about 1 hour to adapt to the living environment in Tokyo. I have to adapt myself to the new environment in Tokyo as soon as possible. I have to adapt myself to the new working environment as soon as possible. I have to adapt myself to the new environment. Adapting myself to the lifestyle in urban cities such as Tokyo took me about 1 year. Adapting myself to the new environment takes longer time than average people. Adapting myself to the new environment in the process of my life takes much longer than average people. Adapting myself to things, especially new things, take much longer than average people. I adapted myself to the 3,000 meter run. and I trained myself a lot in order to withstand such long distance with full speed. Adapting myself to the 3000 meter run takes much time. I still cannot run with full speed in 3000 meters. I definitely cannot adapt myself to working in the environment, toxic environment. Many employees who couldn't adapt themselves to the ill toxic working environment are quitting and finding another job. Many employees who couldn't adapt themselves to the new working environment are quitting their jobs. Many employees who couldn't adapt themselves to the new environment are quitting. Many employees who cannot adapt themselves to the working environment are quitting their jobs. Adaptability to disasters. Increasing the adaptability to natural disasters by such as build up a higher fence along the coastline, building a tower for evacuation, and so on, are important. Adaptability to natural disasters. Adaptability to new questions we haven't faced with. Adaptability to new problem we haven't seen ever. Adaptability to new questions in math problems in the math subject we haven't seen ever during the examination will make us confused. But first thing we have to do is to calm down and relax and think well. Adaptability to different temperature, adaptability to different environment in foreign countries, adaptability to cold temperature outside, adaptability to rescheduling, adaptability to rain, direct sunlight, and so on. Adaptability to different temperatures, adaptability to new math questions appeared in the examination. Adaptable. Are you adaptable to dealing with angry customers? Some animals are adaptable to a certain poisons. Their body is designed to withstand a certain poison from other animals. And some animals' body are designed to withstand, endure, put up with, bear a certain poisons, particular poisons, a certain kinds of poisons, a certain kind of poisons, a certain kinds of poison. Adaptable, 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 adaptable. Our body is designed to be adaptable to a temperature difference to a certain extent by wearing a clothes or taking off jacket and so on all year round. Many employees who cannot be adaptable to, who are not adaptable to the working environment are quitting their jobs. It was not until 1 year or 1 year and a half that I was adapted to the new working environment. It was not until like 2 years that I was adapted to the new working environment. It wasn't until maybe 2 years that I was adapted to the new working environment. It is not already new after 2 years, right? It was until 2 years that I was adapted to the new working environment. It was not until 2 years that I was adapted to the new living environment in Tokyo. It wasn't until 2 years that I was adapted to the new environment in the foreign country. I should have been adapted to the working style earlier, much earlier. I should have been adapted to the business knowledge, business system, selling my second-hand goods through the internet. Then I didn't waste my money selling cheaper for buyers. Now that I have been adapted to the setting system through the internet, it's even fun to sell my unwanted goods through the internet because most of them can be sold more expensive than those bought by companies or second-hand shop on the spot. Now that I have been adapted to selling my second-hand goods through the internet, it's even fun to sell my second-hand goods through the internet. I used to waste of my time and money by selling my second-hand goods on the spot, on the real shops, because they bought my second-hand goods so cheap, as cheap as 0 yen or 100 yen. I was surprised to realize that the goods which were not evaluated in the second-hand shop was sold for very expensive prices on the internet. So it's better to sell our goods through the internet, but it can be confusing because we have to upload pictures, add explanations, and communicating with our buyers and so on. So there are some burdens compared to selling our goods on second-hand shops. But you can choose which is suitable for you. You can choose what is suitable for you. Excuse me, can I adjust the temperature of the air conditioner? Because it's too cold. Excuse me, can I adjust the temperature of the air conditioner in the room because it's too cold? Sure. Go ahead. Please adjust the temperature according to your comfortability. It took me about 2 years for me to adjust to the new working environment. It took about 2 years to adjust to the new working environment. It took about 2 years to adjust to the new environment. Excuse me, can I make an adjustment to the schedule? I'd like to make a little adjustment to the schedule. According to the schedule, the starting time is written 8 o'clock a.m., but can I reschedule that for 9 o'clock? Because I'm super weak in the morning. Make an adjustment. Make an adjustment. The draft has been completed, and other staffs in charge of the adjustment will make an adjustment to my draft, and it will be published finally, ultimately, in the end. The draft has been completed, and my managers will see through, go it over. The draft has been completed, and it will be made an adjustment by some staffs before it will be shipped. It will be released. I have just completed the draft of the article, and my managers and other staffs in the same department will make an adjustment to that if possible, if necessary. I've just finished writing the draft of the article. All we have to do is that the staffs and my managers will look it over and make some adjustments to that before it will be released to the public. Adjustment, 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 make an adjustment, make an adjustment, make an adjustment. I've just finished writing my article. My staffs will make some adjustments to my articles before it will be released to the public. Make an adjustment, make an adjustment, 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 make an adjustment, make an adjustment. Make an adjustment of the schedule. I dared to book the more expensive flight ticket, which is adjustable to the date time for free. I dare to book the more expensive flight ticket, which is adjustable to the time, departure time, date for free. That's why. Adjustable. The height of the seat is adjustable. The temperature is adjustable by the remote controller. The temperature of the room is adjustable through the remote control of the air conditioner. The temperature of the room is adjustable through air conditioner or heater. Adjustable, adjustable. The destinations you want to visit are adjustable according to your taste. According to your taste, adjustable. Adjustable. The height of the seat of the bike is adjustable, of course. Once you have made a reservation of the hotel room, please bear that in mind. You cannot change it. If you want to choose a different room, please cancel the reservation first and make the reservation again. Thank you for your cooperation. Flexible plan. Flexible. Flexible, 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 flexible plan. Flexible. A flexible plan. A flexible man. I'm not a flexible man. Once I have decided a thing, I cannot change it. I don't feel like changing it. Some people are very arrogant and never be flexible at all. Flexible, flexible, a flexible plan, flexible, flexible, flexible measure, flexible dealing, flexible deal with emergencies, flexible response to emergency. Flexible response to emergency is needed. Flexible way of thinking, flexible measures to problems is important, essential, necessary. Good morning, everyone. The schedule for today is so tight, so please gather punctually. Please gather at the decided place punctually so that we can visit all of the destinations. Thank you for your cooperation. The schedule for today is flexible. So if you want to skip a place, a destination, please let me know. Up to 1 hour before the arrival, we can change, and we can visit another destination instead. Today, the schedule for today is very flexible. The itinerary of the tour is very flexible, so according to the taste of the tourist, we can skip or change and go to the different destinations flexibly. Coping with problems flexibly is one of the abilities the profession should have. Coping with problems flexibly in case of emergency is one of the skills to have as a profession, as an occupation. Flexibly. Coping with problems in case of emergency is one of the skills, abilities to have as a as a profession, occupation, flexibly. Answering questions from the customers flexibly is necessary to make them have good inspiration, imagination, impression. Answering questions, catering to customers flexibly according to their taste. Choosing the restaurant for lunch flexibly according to their customers' tastes. Flexibly. Coping with problems flexibly. Changing the destination flexibly according to the taste of the guest is important. Flexibly. Coping with problems flexibly is one of the skills and abilities to have required in the position, required in the recruitment, and coping with problems flexibly. It's required in the position. Flexibility, flexibility. Flexibility to problems, rescheduling, and so on is one of the abilities to have as a profession, occupation, position. Flexibility is required in the description of the position. Flexibility is one of the required skills to have in the description of the position. Flexibility, 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 flexibility. Flexibility of the plan, flexibility of the itinerary, flexibility of the plan. Flexibility of what you can change the menu. Flexibility of the menu. Flexibility of what we eat for lunch. Flexibility of departure time. The more expensive flight ticket comes with the flexibility of changing departure time, date, and so on. The more expensive flight ticket comes with the flexibility of changing time, date, and so on. Flexibility, flexibility, flexibility. As soon as a famous YouTuber advertised the merchandise, many fans flocked to the shop one after another, one after another, one after another. The tourists were asking the receptionist when the next event would start, one after another. And soon after the famous YouTuber advertised the merchandise, many people started to flock to the shop, and people started to wait in the queue one after another. And the customers started to wait in the line one after another. As soon as the 12 o'clock chime rang, many workers, students started to lie in the queue, started to wait in the queue in front of the shop. Soon after the 12 o'clock chime rang, many salaried workers, students, and other tourists started to wait in the queue in front of the shop, one after another, one after another. And soon after 12 o'clock has passed, many people soon after 12 o'clock passed, many people started to wait in the queue in front of the restaurant, one after another, one after another. And to be honest, I have got power harassment at the previous company, which depressed me a lot. Power harassment cannot be allowed. Harassment. Power harassment cannot be allowed. Harassment. 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 Sexual harassment or any kinds of harassment cannot be allowed. Any kinds of harassment cannot be allowed. Any kinds of harassment cannot be allowed. harassment. I've got power harassment. I got power harassment at previous company. Harassment. There was a guy always harassing me. There was a guy, actually colleague, coworker, always harassing me, telling bad words next to me. There was a guy always speaking badly of me next to me. There was a guy always annoying me, harassing me. There was a guy always harassing and irritating me next to me. Don't harass me. Don't harass me. The snowing sound is the worst way to harass me. Snowing sound is the worst way to harass me. Harass. Harass. Every summer, I am harassed by the sound of mosquito, the flying sound of the mosquitoes. Every summer, I am harassed by the flying sound of the mosquitoes. I am harassed by the flying sound of mosquitoes every summer. I am harassed by the flying sound of mosquitoes every summer, or even other season other than summer. I am harassed by the flying sound of mosquitoes. Are you too? In order to sleep comfortably without the flying sound of the mosquitoes, I bought a tool to drive them away. In order to sleep comfortably without the flying sound of mosquitoes, I bought a tool or gadget, I don't know how to say, but there is a tool to drive them away. I am harassed by mosquito sound every summer. I am harassed by the flying sound of mosquitoes. I am harassed by flying sound of mosquitoes. I am harassed by flying sound of mosquitoes. Although the size of mosquito is super small, but when it comes to the sound, it's super big, noisy. Although the size of the mosquitoes is so small, but when it comes to the flying sound, it is super huge. It's very annoying. The flying sound of mosquitoes always harass me. Stop exploiting employees. I presume the overturn between the salary of executives and employees might be made in the future. Overturn, upside down. I presume the upside down phenomenon of the salaries between executives and employees might happen in the future in order to vitalize the economy. I guess the upside down of the salaries between the executives and employees might happen in the future in order to vitalize the shrinking economy. Exploitation cannot be allowed. Those taking advantage of exploitation of employees should be punished, should pay the cost. Those employers taking advantage of exploitation of employees should pay the cost. Should be punished. Exploitation. Those employers taking advantage of exploitations of employees and other workers or things should be punished, should pay the cost. Exploitation. Exploitation often brought up on the news as bad things. Exploitation of employees often exploitation of employees are often brought up on the news or brought up by YouTubers as a topic to talk about. Exploitation of employees. Companies' money cannot be allowed. Exploitation of public tax cannot be allowed. Such employers taking advantage of exploitation of employees should be punished, should pay the cost. Exploitation of employees are often raised on TV, videos, and so on. Exploitation of employees are recent topics to talk about by entrepreneurs, entertainers, YouTubers, and so on. Exploitation of employees is recently often brought up as a topic to talk about on media. Exploitation of employees is a recent popular topic talk about on TV, mass media, YouTube videos, and so on. Exploitation of employees cannot be allowed. Exploitation. Employees are exploited to a certain extent. Exploitation. Employees are exploited to a certain extent because of the company system. company system where executives can get most of the profits. Company system where executives steal most of the benefits. So employees are usually exploited. Exploiting employees for cheap salaries, uh, approaching limitation or already beyond the limitation. That's why many companies are struggling with hiring new employees, where a lack of employees are happening. Many companies seem to exploit employees for cheap salaries. Which is not good. That is not good. Some big companies exploit new employees with the big name and popularity of the company for cheap salaries. Some big companies exploit new employees for cheap salaries just with the famous name and popularity and so on. Some big companies exploit new employees for cheap salaries, just with the big name and popularity and so on. The teenagers who don't know about the law at all were exploited by the scammers and commit a crime in order to earn money. The scammers exploited innocent teenagers who didn't know about the law at all, who committed the crime. He committed the crime. The scammers exploited innocent teenagers who didn't know about the law at all, just wanted to earn money. The scammers exploited teenagers who didn't know about the law at all, committed a crime. The scammers exploited teenagers who didn't know about the law at all and committed a crime. Those employers exploiting employees should be punished. Toilets are usually divided into men and women. But I found the toilet both women and men can enter in the guest house. Gender issue. How to solve gender issue? How to resolve gender issue? Obsolete gender bias should be abolished. Done away with. Gender bias still exists. Are there gender biases in your region? Are there gender bias in your country, region, district, community, and so on? Gender bias, I hope, will disappear with the development of diversity. Many students are focusing on input, not practice such as output. Many students are focusing on input when during their study, not output such as speaking or writing. Many English learners in Japan are, I think, focusing on input such as reading and listening, mostly reading. And they are lack of the practices of speaking and writing, output. So taking the balance among the 4 skills, reading, writing, speaking, and listening are important. Everything is balance. Taking a balance comes first in everything. Because if one thing is too much, it will lean to the position, to the direction, and everything will collapse. So taking balance is very important. Output and input of the gadget. 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 output, 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 output of the rice. Let's compare the output of the rice to the last years. Let's compare the amount of the crops to the last years. Let's compare the amount of the outputs to that of the last years. Output. Please insert the cable to the output of the gadget and insert the opposite cable to the input of another gadget, okay? Please insert the cable into the output of the player and insert the opposite cable to the input of the speakers, okay? Input. How much output can the field can harvest the rice? How much output are you expecting from the rice field? How much output of the rice are you expecting from the paddy field? How much output are you expecting from the rice field? How much output are you expecting from the rice field? How much output from the rice field are you expecting this summer? Machines will be replacing us as the new workers, which have better efficiency. With the development of technologies, machines can have a better output of the products in many cases already, and we are operating the machines. And without the machines, we couldn't have achieved the amount of the output. If it had not been the machines, we couldn't have produced such amount of merchandise at once. If it had not been for the machines, this amount of output couldn't have been achieved a day. If it were not for this machine, such amount of output couldn't be achieved, couldn't be accomplished, couldn't be made. If it were not for this machine, this number of outputs wouldn't be achieved in a day. Even if all of the employees pitched in producing the same products. Why not for this machine? This number of outputs wouldn't be achieved in a day, even if all of the employees pitched in, collaborated in focusing on the production. Had it not been for this machine, this much output couldn't have been made in a day. If it were not for this machine, such amount of output wouldn't be possible in a day. Such amount of output in a day wouldn't be possible. Why not for this machine, such amount of output wouldn't be possible? Why not for this machine, this output wouldn't be possible? Why not for this machine? We shouldn't turn our back on confusing tasks, because which is the only way to get used to it and feel it normal next time. by overcoming. Do not turn your back on your previous dreams. Pursue it until you achieve it. Don't care about what others say to you. Don't care about what others say to you. Don't turn your back on the traffic light. A hidden security camera might be set in the traffic light. Or police officers might be surveilling you in the grass, in the bushes. Don't turn your back on learning. Don't turn your back on learning. Keep learning. Keep learning. One of the ways to keep competitiveness in this society is to keep learning according to information from the video. Keep learning. We have to keep learning. Learning. Don't turn your back on learning. Don't turn your back on learning. Don't turn your back on learning. My ignorance is the outcome that I turned my back on learning. My ignorance is the outcome that I turned my back on learning. Thunder is ringing. It's going to be rain soon. It's going to rain soon. I used to turn my back on studying at school and at home too, which I regret now. I regret that I regret turning my back on learning when I was a kid. I put more emphasis on playing video games at that time, which I really regret. I really regret. I really regret. I really regret. I really regret turning my back on studying when I was a kid. I put more emphasis on playing video games. I'm really shocked to know that most of the games I bought in those days were sold for very cheap prices. Because I bought video games for very expensive prices. Some of them were new, as expensive as 10,000 yen, maybe. Hmm. I really regret turning my back on studying when I was a kid. I put more emphasis on playing video games. I used to play many kinds of video games, such as RPG, car racing, board games, sports games, and so on. I really regret turning back on studying when I was a kid. I was really helped by music when I was desperate at life. Whenever I was desperate at life, there were always supporters to me, supporters for me. Uh, drove away my sadness, desperation, and so on. Whenever I was in desperation, there were always supporters who helped me. I really appreciate them for that. Some rare animals at risk of extinction. Some rare animals are at risk of extinction. My area is at the risk of something. Every area might be at risk of natural disasters. Every place will be at risk of natural disasters. Parliament, Congress, Diet House. Parliament, Diet House, Congress is a place or association or organization where rules are decided. Rules, policies, law are decided on behalf of the country. The delicate problems are always avoided to be dealt with in the parliament, but this time they should discuss it. And the delicate issues are often avoided to deal with. The delicate issues are often avoided to deal with. The delicate problems are often avoided to deal with at the parliament. 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 The lower house. The upper house. The House of Representatives. The House of Councillors. The House of Representatives. The House of Councillors. If you play the peace without any mistakes. I will buy you a box of chocolate. I will provide you with a box of chocolate. I will supply you with a box of chocolate. If you succeed in finishing the task on your desk by 5 o'clock p.m., I will provide you with a present I prepared for today. I will provide you with a present I prepared for you today. Developing countries, developed countries, emerging countries. What are the definitions? All of the countries, including developing, developed, and emerging countries, should come together, should pitch in, should collaborate, and give their own, give affections to each other. Is the monarchy working well in your country? What is the best system to run the country? What is the best system to run the country? Is the monarchy working well? Is the monarchy system working well in your country? What are the official duties of the monarch? What are the official duties of the monarch? Do you think many obsolete systems should be abolished? Do you think many obsolete systems should be done away with? Monarchy. Monarchy. What do you think of monarchy? What do you think of monarchy? What do you think about monarchy? Monarchy. 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 Monarch. Monarch. The country is virtually taken over by the monarch, the CEO called monarch. The company is virtually taken over by the CEO called monarch. What is called monarch? The company is virtually taken over by the chairperson. What is called monarch? Who is called monarch? Although I thought the peacock with the gold buttons at many shops around the country, but I couldn't find it. All of the shops I visited were a lack of the peacock. It was sold out at every shop I visited. Keep seeking our dreams. Keep seeking your passion, enthusiasm. You can be really into. Seeking our passion before graduation from high school or university might be the best, but it's super difficult. It's the best way to seek and find our passion, enthusiasm, eager. We can be really into the profession or occupation before graduating from high school or university or junior high school. The earlier we find our passion, the better it is. The earlier we find our passion, the better it is. The earlier we find the passion, our passion, the better it is. Anti-sound room is a best shelter for me because I can escape from noise. Where is the best shelter? Do you have a shelter around in the ground of a house? Underground of your house? Is there underground in your house? I was surprised to find the home theater in the underground of the house. He was so rich. He is so rich. I'd like to be rich enough to be able to have a home theater in the underground of a house. I wish I were rich enough to be able to have a home theater in the underground of a house. Keep seeking your passion, enthusiasm, eager. You can be really into as your profession, occupation, job, position. Shelter, shelter, shelter. Are there any shelters hiding from the attack in case of emergency around your house? As precautions from the tsunami, there are some shelters escaping from tsunami, such as tower was built, and the fence along the coastline were built up. They are taking precautions against tsunami, which might happen in the near future, by creating a tower or reinforcing the height of the fence, by making it higher, and so on. Shelter from tsunami. Schools are often used as a shelter when typhoon came. Schools or other firm and solid buildings are used as a shelter to escape from natural disasters such as typhoon, heavy rain, and so on. Very strong, solid, firm buildings such as schools are often used as a shelter from natural disasters such as typhoon. Do you think there is a prospect that I can pass examination? If there is a prospect, even 1%, don't give up. I was told never to give up if there is even 1% prospect. I was told not to give up until the end if there is even 1% prospect. How dare you could challenge it, although there was little prospect that you could succeed in the business? How dare you could start the business, although there was little prospect that you could succeed in the business? Now that you have succeeded, so it was super lucky for you, but I cannot do the same things. How dare you could start your business, although there was little prospect that you could succeed? Do you think my English level is making a progress? Even with practice, our level might not be making a progress, or even our level might go down, even with the practices. But in the long run, in the process of up and down of our level will go up totally. Or even through practice or study, our level can go down. But through the up and down of our level, our level will go up in the long run. I want me to make a progress in everything. Getting over difficulties might be only way to make a progress. Getting over difficulties might be only way to make a progress. Challenging something crazy will be the only way to make significant progress, achieve breakthrough, accomplish breakthrough. Disarmament should be reached. I don't expect the two countries will agree to the disarmament, but I hope the two countries will sign the disarmament agreement. Disarmament. Have you ever the experience of negotiating in English? Have you ever negotiated with international companies in English? It's like the station and the around are always under construction. The proceedings are underway, so please be patient until they are done. The proceedings of your demands are underway. The proceedings of your request is underway. The proceedings of your requests are underway, so please be patient. I will notify you of the completion later with email. Thank you for your patience and regular patronage to us. It was not long before my name was called at the hospital because I had a reservation. If you have the reservation beforehand, which you can make a reservation through the internet, you don't have to wait in the hospital. So I highly recommend you make a reservation before you reach the hospital. The merits of the clinic is that you can make a reservation of your prescription and diagnosis before you reach the clinic, which you can save your money, save time, not money. A crucial announcement is expected by the CEO of the kickboxing. Very exciting cause must have been decided. Crucial announcement is expected from the CEO of the kickboxing. Maybe very exciting cards must have been made. Awesome cards, exciting cards must have been come true. The crucial announcement is expected today by the CEO of the kickboxing. So very exciting cards must be made come true. Okay, I will finish speaking here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See you.